Today it was reported of an airplane crash here at Statesville Regional Airport. The time that we were notified was approximately 10:15 a.m. this morning. It was a single airplane crash. We were told initially that this was a reapproach, that the aircraft had and was reapproaching the airport to land. The tail number for this airplane was N as in Nora 257, B as in boy, W as in William. That would be registered to a GB Aviation leasing aircraft. We can tell you at this point that 7 confirmed occupants that were on the aircraft are deceased. Those names, we cannot definitively give you those names at this point because of the post-crash fire. There's a lot of speculation. There are a lot of names that are out there. The only person we would be able to say is believed that Mr. Greg Biffle was one of those 7 deceased occupants due to not only the information of those occupants that is recorded, but also visual from aircraft or from staff that was here at the airport that he was one of the occupants that was on the plane at the time. The other names, we will have a list once we have those, but what we would do, just like in a crash involving a automobile, we would have to await medical examiner confirmation. So that's what's going on right now. And again, those names, those 7 names, just can't definitively be put out there at this point because of that post-crash fire. So awaiting the medical examiner and that confirmation. The FAA has been on the scene this afternoon and working through their initial phases of an investigation. We've spoke with the NTSB. They will be arriving early in the morning, and then they will pick up the investigation, take from there. The State Highway Patrol will remain throughout the night, and as long as is needed to preserve the evidence in this case. As you can see, or as you might have heard, that the evidence does span throughout airport property and off airport property. So we'll be working to secure that evidence and being in place as long as those federal authorities need us. At this point, we are in just a scene security mode, making sure that everything is still intact for when those authorities arrive. Our hearts do go out to all those involved. There's just a tragedy that you just can't even, you can't fathom. Especially at this time of year. The list of occupants, once we have those in the coming days, we'll send those out to you. We'll ensure that everybody has that list. That might take some time, but as follow-up details specific to why the crash happened and those details that are compiled a part of that investigation, that will come from the NTSB in the days and weeks and months that follow. So that's all the details really that I have for you. That's all we're able to put out this time.
Is NTSB here now? Or?
They're not. They will be here tomorrow. We've spoken with the federal authorities, and they'll be here first thing in the morning. So, yes, sir. Hope that helps you guys. Thank you. Yeah.
That is the latest update from Highway Patrol regarding the single airplane crash that happened this morning around 10:15 at Statesville Regional Airport. Highway Patrol confirming that 7 people were killed in that crash. They stopped short of naming all of the occupants on there, but the trooper did say that they do believe Mr. Greg Biffle, former NASCAR driver, was one of those deceased occupants. But again, he would not go into details about who else may have been on the plane. I do want to bring in, though, a statement from Representative Richard Hudson, who serves as the chairman of the Congressional Motorsports Caucus. He posted on X that Greg Biffle and his family were among those on the plane when it crashed. And his statement reads that he's devastated by the loss of Greg, Christina, and their children, and his heart is with all of those who love them. He goes on to talk about his impact as a NASCAR champion, but also remember the work that he did using his resources to help people in Western North Carolina. But again, the latest from Highway Patrol, 7 people killed in the single airplane crash at Statesville Regional Airport. Our team will stay there live. Danny Harnden is there, as well as photojournalist Chris Weaver, who also runs a NASCAR show for us and has many contacts. They're going to continue to bring us live coverage in the afternoon into the evening, and we will have continuing coverage starting at 4 p.m. on the Fox 8 4 o'clock news. In the meantime, we'll return you to your regularly scheduled programming.